Hello, Alison. Lovely to see you. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. It's good to be in the city today, and it's not raining, to be honest.
I have to say, I looked out today and thought it looks like a proper autumnal day, doesn't it? Quite a nice one.
Yeah. It feels
So
like the season's turning.
Exactly. It must have been a terribly stressful and weird time for you over the last 6-7 months. How have you been coping? How's your team been coping?
Well, the team have been amazing, actually, and the rangers, so I don't know, the Bath Bid runs the rangers who you see out and about cleaning, doing kind of extra cleaning on top of what the council does around the city, and the rangers kept working throughout the whole of lockdown, because we felt that whilst our business members who were still trying to operate, like Sainsbury's and Waitrose, it was really important for us to support them as best we could. So we made sure that the queuing areas outside their shops were kept clean, and we made sure that public places like bus stops and bins and so on were kept clean. While I know the council was running a skeleton team, and so I heard from one of the retailers the other day. He said all through the lockdown he was coming in because it was his sort of security responsibility, and he said it was so nice to know that there was someone else here at that time when there were few businesses were open and working. So I'm really proud of the effort that they put in, and how stoic they were really about the personal risks to themselves. And obviously we had to modify the way we worked, so now everybody travels in a separate electric vehicle, so that they don't put themselves at risk when they're working. But it has meant a lot of changes. And then alongside the work that obviously the Rangers did, we massively upped our communications. We became overnight specialists in government advice, which still changes on a 24-hourly basis. And so I spend a lot of time personally kind of poring over the briefings and trying to make sure that at least I understand, so that we can be sharing the most salient information. And we've worked really closely with people that we've not worked so closely with before, to make sure that the information that we're sending out is correct, and because nothing worse than being sent to 20 different websites. So we've all agreed that we send them all straight to the government pages, so that it's just another way of finding the information that people need. But it's been very challenging period, and obviously it's been much more challenging for our, for the levy payers that we represent. So we work with about 600 to 700, it varies, businesses in the city centre, and they turn to us to coordinate information and provide the services that they find useful. And so being in that position of a support organisation at a time when businesses have never needed more support, it puts into a very clear perspective what we're here for. It's really helped us to be clear about our purpose and why we do it. But I can only sympathise with what our actual members are going through themselves. It's that's a whole different scale of change.
And you're saying that you've been working with people who you didn't work with before, because that's almost a common theme that's come out from dealing with the pandemic, that lots of organisations of people have come together, and I'm sure you're absolutely right that the people who pay you the levy, what they want more than anything is consistent communication. So the fact you provided that channel, I think, is good. Are the people who you think you've now got a working relationship with that will outlast what's happened in the pandemic?
Oh, I would say so. So the Invest in Bath team at the council, we've never shared communications in the same way. We've always known what they were doing, and we do what we do, and we've always shared if they had interesting courses and things like that. But we've actually made sure that we were much more closely aligned than before. And the same with Visit Bath, really. We've really pulled together as two organisations, because we're both out there supporting businesses, and we don't want to duplicate effort either. So we've been agreeing shared content, so that not two people aren't writing the same email, for example. And even to the point of during May, I think it was May, we borrowed one of their members of staff to write the newsletters for us, because she was already writing it for them, so it was just relatively easy for her to write it for us, and that seemed like the best use of resources at the time. So yes, so I think all of that's been really strong. And the other thing that I've personally got a lot of benefit from is the national reach of bids. So there are about, I think there are 328 bids in the UK and Ireland, and we meet, it's gone down to fortnightly, but we were meeting weekly online. And before, you might see them once or twice a year at a bid conference, but now I'm in regular contact with the person who does my job in York, in Exeter, in Manchester, in Liverpool. You know, we've always talked to Bristol, in Salisbury, because they're just up the road, but I've never had such strong, Putney even, you know, so I've never had such strong links with the bid community. And for us, that's also really valuable for the local businesses, because it means that issues that we're finding here in Bath through it's called the Bid Foundation, but through the Bid Foundation are then being fed to the minister responsible for high streets. And so that means that we've suddenly got this kind of place to take our comments and contributions and challenges, and feel like as an organisation, as a team of organisations, we're being listened to, which is really encouraging. Yeah, so it's been good, that bit.
You must have been reading my my email, because I was drafting myself some things I wanted to ask you, and one of them was, what have you done with the other bid organisations around the country?
Oh, right.
And your answer is absolutely what I think everyone would like to hear, that you've got the two benefits, I guess. You can share best practice if something comes out from one that you think, oh, we could potentially do that. You can probably share things that haven't worked quite so well as well, so you don't do that. But also the fact that as a large group of organisations, your voice has got to be heard, really. And I think that's a really good thing for people to be involved in. What are the key challenges you see now? Say now and between, I don't like saying Christmas when it's still October, but it's not that far off, is it? What do you see the key challenges are for you and your levy payers?
Well, so Bath, most of our levy payers are high street businesses. Obviously, we do work with the office. The other two sectors are office and facilities. So office staff, organisations have their own challenges around remote working and deciding what type of premises they need in the future, and then depending on where they get clients from, I suppose, and their work from. But if we just focus on the high street, I think we've got some big challenges. So Bath was looking really strong until about 2 weeks ago. So visitors are coming back to the city. We know, because we have some quite sophisticated data measurements that we do. So we know that visitors are coming back. We know that, obviously residents and people who work in the city are gradually coming back, but not, the residents didn't go away, obviously, but it's good news that the visitors are coming back, because they're really important to our high street economy. But about 2 weeks ago, that just dropped off dramatically when we were all told to stop travelling around and to be a bit more cautious again. And I think that having sort of started to think that we could manage through a difficult period and see kind of the light at the end of the tunnel, I think that it's more difficult to see the point at which this is going to change. And as an organisation, I am talking about Christmas most days for more than an hour, I would say. So we are planning Christmas really carefully, because obviously Bath is a visitor destination. Christmas market delivers footfall in the millions, and it's really significant. And in fact, perhaps people don't realise, but it's probably more important to the hospitality sector, the Christmas market, than it is to the retailers, because actually there's lots of things for people to buy during the Christmas market from the stall holders, but they all want a cup of tea, and they all want something to eat, and they all want a nice treat, kind of piece of cake with their cup of tea, and so on. And the amount of money that comes in during the Christmas market period to our hospitality sector is vast. So how do we come up with something that's enticing enough that some people come, but not so exciting that too many people come, and then that becomes a problem in itself, and that gives the businesses that little uplift in takings, that in turnover, that they need at this time of year. It has been really tricky to manage, and I think again this is one of those things where partnership is really coming to the fore. So we're working with Bath Festivals, Visit Bath, Bath Carnival, the local retail groups in Kingsmead Square and Walcott Street and Milson Street, and really coordinating what's going to be quite an exciting, I think, in the end. I like to say patchwork, but I don't think that's the right marketing word, but it's going to be something where you'll discover something different in each little area of Bath, and so there'll be lots of lighting effects that we've not had before, but in all the different corners. So there's going to be lighting that we don't normally have during Christmas, and that lighting is a great thing because people can enjoy it outdoors, so it's safe. It's a reason to come into Bath. They'll still go and need a cup of tea and a piece of cake while they come to the lights, and it can be on for a long time, so it hopefully won't condense all of the Christmas activity into one area. But I think getting us to have a good enough Christmas that doesn't then create risks at the same time is going to be the most important focus for our work over the next few weeks. And people are I heard a representative from the bookseller say this morning, October is the new December. So our other message is to try and encourage people to spread out their Christmas shopping. Actually, don't do it all in the last week in December, when there's going to be massive pressure on even the people who produce the product. But start early, but do it in dribs and drabs. Enjoy it and enjoy the city at the same time, I guess, would be our message. And we've never done an early Christmas shopping day before, early bird, but this year we're doing early birds in November. So well,
I think that sounds, to me, as a resident, let alone as mayor, that sounds a really good idea, that in effect you're dispersing people over both the geography and over time, so that they're still having the lovely experience, but it's not something that is sort of compacted into the 2.5 weeks or whatever it was off the Christmas market. I think that sometimes necessity is the mother of invention, isn't it? And there might be again things that you do this year that even when we're in a different position, hopefully next year, you think actually that worked quite well. Let's not lose that, and let's hope that some of the good can come of it. And I don't know if people say this to you often enough, but certainly I'm going to say it on behalf of the City of Bath. Really appreciate what you are doing for your members and actually for the whole city, because without people such as yourselves and the other voluntary organisations and the healthcare and everyone who's really gone above and beyond, we wouldn't be in the position that we're currently in. So genuine thanks for all you're doing, because I'm sure it must have been incredibly stressful and hard.
Oh, that's really nice of you. I don't think I have ever worked so hard. And it was weird doing it all in my back bedroom.
Sure.
Somebody rang me up in the middle of it and said, I feel really sorry for you. You're stranded in that back bedroom. And
on a personal level, thank you for choosing my banner as one of the banners that went up. I thought that was a lovely thing to do. And I understand that you're going to be doing some cards and stuff for Christmas. Is that also?
Well, yes. We're going to do more banners actually for Christmas, and if it's possible to make them into cards, then we will. But we thought that rather than just impose a design on the Christmas banners like normally, we would invite the community to give us their Christmas banner ideas, and then what we'd really like to do is make up little mini bunting packs that people could buy for charity. Because what we're going to do, again, this is a kind of triumph of a bit necessity and invention, so the welcome ambassadors that the volunteers that we have, because there's no visitor information centre this Christmas, the Christmas market have very kindly lent us a chalet, and Southgate have agreed that we can put it up in Brunel Square outside the railway station. So so we will have a welcome ambassadors chalet where we'll have the opportunity to welcome visitors to the city and direct them around. So yes, we've got lots of lots of small things that hopefully will make a lovely Christmas for everybody. We're talking about rediscovering the magic of Christmas at Bath. So a bit, you know, Bath without so much stuff in it, so that you can really see the buildings. And we're lighting up some of the I've just signed off the lighting plan for the Abbey, so we're going to have lots of a new way of looking at the Abbey. And yeah, so hopefully people will respond positively. And we know that, you know, the community are just as important to us and our levy payers as the visitors. You know, the community are the ones who've carried on coming into the city, and you know, and they're the staff and the neighbours and the, you know, and the parents of the staff in their businesses. So I think it's really, really important for the business community and the resident community to feel connected, really. So that's been one of my campaigns.
No, I completely agree. And on that, please don't forget the mayoralty. If there's anything we can do, you know, because normally we'd do things like judge the best chalet or something like that, which obviously we're not going to be doing this year. But if there's anything else we can do, please do let us know. And thank you ever so much for your time this morning, Alison. It's really, really appreciated. And I wish you the best of luck with all of it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.